Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here to continue our playthrough of. Well, actually, playthrough is done. The story is done. We're playing DLC now. Rise of the Tomb Raider. We're on the schedule. Controller just came apart. We're on a schedule for 3 hours tonight. We're going to do some of the DLC in Rise of the Tomb Raider on Sunday. We did the Baba Yaga DLC.
Whoopie fucking do.
Chippy, what's up? do your Hudson command. I found a clean one for that. But we're gonna do the. There's a couple of options here in the Croft Manor stuff. We're gonna attempt to do both of them tonight. At least we're gonna try. The pretty one, I think I forget what the exact command is. The pretty one. I found a clean one, meaning there's no beeps. And what I also did was, hey gosh, how you doing, man? Welcome. Yeah, I found one that doesn't have the bad words bleeped out. The channel is mature, so I'm not gonna beep that stuff out. But what I also did was I was listening to all of the sound effects files, and I noticed that the volumes on some of them were significantly louder. Ascad, what's up? I was just telling Tippy that I fixed the pretty shit. We're in some pretty shit, man. Now what are we gonna do? I fixed that command. I extracted the audio from a video clip off of YouTube so it doesn't have the stuff beeped out. And as I was also getting ready to say, if you're familiar with the term normalize in regards to audio, I was listening to... No, I don't think that's it. I think it's just pretty. You may have to do the SFX command. But anyway, what I did was I took all the sound effects files and I essentially normalized them so that the higher volume ones and the lower volume ones, the average of them will be even.
That's
So
great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're some real pretty shit now, man.
So there were some of them that were significantly louder than others and some that were kind of low. So I ran it through some software, all of them, to kind of even them out some. So they should all be pretty much at the same level now. So cleaned all that stuff up. So hopefully that's better. I mean, it wasn't going to stop you guys from using them anyway, right? So, which I love. I love it when you guys do that stuff. So, all right. So here we go. We've got two pieces to the Croft Manor DLC. I'll just kind of give you a brief. I have not played either one of them. Now keep that in mind. So this part of it is blind. The blood ties has to do with the Croft Manor itself, and there is some dispute in this little mini story about who the property actually belongs to, whether it's Lara's uncle or whether it belongs to Lara. So that's the basic storyline of that. And there's a new expedition, which means there will be combat. It's called Lara's Nightmare. Essentially, there's it's still in Siberia. There's a Russian military facility where they unleashed some virus or something, and now Rise of the Tomb Raider has zombies in it. So there's some kind of zombie thing going on there. So there will be some fighting there too. So we should be able to... We're going to do blood ties first. That's supposed to be pretty chill. No combat. And then once we finish that, we'll at least get started with the Lara's Nightmare. So let's do that. A Russian military facility? I would bet that would be the one thing that releasing a virus.
Final notice to Lara Croft, a current tenant of premises. This is to serve as your final notice for the purposes of terminating your ownership of Croft Manor. You are required to immediately vacate and surrender possession of said manor to Atlas de Mornay, executor of estates.
It's her uncle.
Lara, it is unfortunate that you have forced my hand in this matter, but so be it. As you know, your parents appointed me executor of the estate in the event of their absence. Since your mother disappeared, her death was never technically declared. And given the circumstances surrounding your father's death, it's no surprise that he never drafted a formal last will and testament to account for this circumstance. Unfortunately, you have no legal claims to the estate. I'm willing to negotiate a modest monthly stipend from your trust, but only if you leave the manor by week's end. Don't fight me on this, Lara. Your mother wouldn't want that. Sincerely, Atlas.
There has to be a will or some kind of evidence of what happened to Mum in the manor somewhere. Dad's safe.
Oh, she opened it. Game over.
Needs a
See you guys
combination.
tomorrow.
It's got to be in Dad's papers somewhere. Maybe in the library.
I have heard this. I've heard this essentially, this DLC essentially called a walking simulator, which is kind of what, if you've heard of the game Gone Home, it's essentially the same thing. You're investigating something. So.
Dad would have liked me to go to Oxford, but I insisted on UCL. Yep, looks real. Roth once offered to forge me a fake diploma to show Dad.
Well, this is a hell of a thing. I met someone tonight quite unexpectedly. But it shouldn't have been, it seems. I've been so buried in my work, so distracted by my latest revelations, I never bothered to notice my surroundings. But there she was, sitting at my table in the library. Her name is Amelia. And apparently she's been studying right next to me. Art history, of all things.
Art.
I shared some of my research against my better judgment, but I wanted to see how she would respond. And she did not disappoint. I felt as if I was suddenly engaged in a mental game of chess, moving and counter-moving in argument. At one point, that poor old librarian had to shush us as if we were children. I feel so foolish for not having noticed her earlier. She's a brilliant woman who's challenged my ideas for the first time in memory. In truth, I don't know if she's feeling as exhilarated as I am right now, but I dare say our conversation was mutually stimulating. For the first time in a long time, I find myself thinking about something else besides my research. I hope she returns for another round tomorrow.
I always knew that my parents met at Oxford, but never the circumstances, just like Dad, to argue mythology as a way to flirt.
My parents made a good team, challenging each other from the start.
You know, it's funny, you say shortest stream ever. I don't know if you were here the other day when I mentioned it or not, but I picked up Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4. There is a way to finish Far Cry 4 in about 15 minutes. Legitimately. When we get around to playing that, if you don't already know what that is, I'll do that first.
A picture with Dad and Anna.
And me.
Never liked
Apparently.
wearing dresses, but the color was nice.
You know, from what Anna looks like in this picture and what she wound up looking like in the game, and compared to Lara, Anna doesn't look like she aged a whole lot.
This is probably my grandfather, Benjamin.
Benjamin Croft. All right, come on.
I finally introduced Richard to the family. It went precisely how I imagined. Icy but polite grace from mother, indifference and disinterest from father, and thinly veiled contempt from Atlas. Of course they don't approve. To them, Lord Croft is the man who took away their beloved daughter and ruined her long-standing engagement, though I was never going to marry that repugnant Earl of Farringdon anyway. One might think they would be happy that I was being courted by a genuine lord of the realm. It just happens to be Richard Croft. In their eyes, the man who single-handedly ruined a once great family.
Ow.
But there's nothing to be done now. Watching how Richard dealt with their subtle insults and disrespect. Such grace and calm. I know he did it for me. I think I'm falling in love with this man. It will break my mother's heart, but I cannot live the life she imagined for me. My time with Richard has only made this clearer.
It must have been hard for Mum to go against her family's wishes. I'm glad she did.
Yeah, but apparently there's a little bit of animosity here towards Richard. Maybe that's a motivation to do something nefarious with the land.
One of Dad's Yoruba masks, a gift from a friend he met on an expedition in Nigeria. Dad's map of the forgotten cities of northern Syria. He was closer than he knew to finding the Prophet's tomb.
Syria was where Rise of the Tomb Raider started, if you weren't here at the beginning of the stream for that, for the main part of the game.
Dad's book about immortality myths might be useful in my research.
Mortality myths. Richard Croft explores myth in search of lost truths within Christianity. The word myth rests on a historical basis. By the time of Christ, the Greco-Roman world had started to use the term myth, Greek mythos, to mean fable, fiction, lie. As a result, the early Christian theologians used myth in this sense. Thus, the derogatory meaning of the word myth is the traditional Christian meaning, and the expression Christian mythology, as used as in academic discourse, may offend Christians for this reason. Well, yeah, she's, oh, did I forget a picture? Gee, I wonder who that is.
My birthday crown. I was so proud of that thing. That's my handwriting. My penmanship was pretty good. The door to the library. Locked. There's got to be another way through. Dad's artifacts from the Nile Valley. I always loved looking at these. Dad became interested in immortality myths after his expeditions to Egypt.
Scarab.
Hi, Dad. I've been thinking about Mum lately. I wish I knew more about her. How did you meet? What was she like? Winston told me that she was a brilliant artist. Are some of her paintings locked up in the West Wing? And I guess I just want to know, Did she love me, Dad? Did she ever say that she did?
Oh,
Maybe I'm just being silly. But will you tell me more about her the next time I'm home from school?
that looks like the laptop is sitting on the desk on the main menu screen. At least the screensaver or the login screen.
Lara, I've reviewed the report from your therapist. I have to say I was surprised to see a clean bill of health. I somehow doubt you've so easily abandoned your irrational claims. Indeed, where have you been the past few weeks? My secretary discovered that you booked a flight to Turkey on the 20th. You can't have been simply sightseeing, as your customs claims suggest. I know you're up to something, and I'll be damned if I let you use the Croft assets to indulge the same obsession that led to my sister's death. It's not too late to relinquish your claims on the Manor voluntarily. If you refuse, I will find a way to cut you off. Sincerely,
Asshole.
Atlas.
Would you kindly relinquish the manor?
Well, hello there, Sir Lancelot. Don't worry, I won't be boring your sword this time.
This time.
The Grand Hall. I always loved playing in here as a kid. This will be
Jeez.
one of the first things to fix.
A little bit of disrepair there, huh? Okay. Croft. Oh God, what's that? What's the called? Sigil? Is that what those are called?
Lara, you know the West Wing is off limits.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to see...
We've been through this.
Was Mum's room in here?
Just stay out of there.
It does.
Dad was always so protective of the West Wing.
I'm not gonna go in there yet. Check everything out in the hallway first. Master key. Okay, so there is going to be some backtracking. That confirms that.
A phoenix figurine. I bet this appealed to Dad's idea of immortality, of rising from the ashes and being born anew.
Crest, there you go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Family crest. Thank you.
Locked. Need a key to open this.
What are you doing sitting there on the floor, Mistress Lara?
Mistress.
Looking at the compass. Thinking.
What about, if I may inquire?
Just thinking about discovering faraway places. About finding adventure.
I'm sure you will, my lady. You've the soul of an explorer. But don't grow up too fast.
The offer came in the post last week, and I still haven't told Richard. He flew ahead to Tibet, where I will meet him shortly. I never told him I was submitting my work. Never thought there was a chance of being accepted. Oh, but a gallery tour is not something I can pass up. The show will take me away from England for over a year. I'll begin in New York and travel across the United States and, oh, God, I'm giddy even writing these words. When Richard and I were married, I was prepared to relegate my painting to a hobby. But it was Richard who objected, who gave me my atelier and studio. Without that support, I might still be painting boring landscapes. Now I can't shake the foolish sensation that leaving would be a betrayal. He will laugh at that and insist I accept, even though I know it will break his heart to be apart. He never once asked me to sacrifice any part of my life for his. I have, of course, in 1,000 small ways over the years, but he would never ask. The discussion can wait, and I will join him in Tibet. I won't cast a shadow over his find. I will be by his side in his triumph, as I know he will stand by my side in time.
Like a yin and yang.
Another one of Dad's immortality artifacts. I think Roth bought this for him from a trader in Greece.
Well, I mean, if Atlas thinks he has the rights to the manor, then he's the one that should have the damn key. Unless it's the lawyers.
Hey, Jonah. Sorry for not getting back to you sooner. I've decided to do some research at the manor. A lot has happened, and I need some time to think about what I want to do next. This old place is filled with memories and secrets. Uncle Atlas has tried to keep me out of here for so long, I don't even know if I want to keep it. But after everything that's happened, maybe I can find out what it still means to me. If it's worth fighting him for. I'll let you know how things worked out when I'm back in London.
This DLC supposedly takes place between Syria and Siberia. Those first 2 levels of the game.
Got to remember to pack this for my next trip. Should be able to explore the dark now. Not sure. I really need to brush up on my ancestors one of these days.
The voice sounds a little different. I'm sure it's still Camillo Luddington, but it sounds just a tad off. Maybe it's because she's not screaming and yelling and grunting.
Lara, since your return from your expedition to Yamatai, I've grown increasingly
That was
alarmed
the first
at your
game.
erratic behavior.
The reboot.
I can only assume you suffered some kind of psychological trauma and are only acting out as a call for help. I want you to know that I hear you, loud and clear. Anna and I agree that it's time for you to be evaluated by a professional. I took the liberty of arranging an introduction to a highly qualified colleague of mine. You should be receiving the details in the post soon. I want to impress upon you the importance of this, Lara. As executor of the estate, it is my duty to see that it is left in capable hands. And if I may be blunt, you're acting like your father when he was at his worst. He nearly lost the manor himself in those days. I'd hate for you to repeat his mistakes. I encourage you to embrace the help I'm offering. Sincerely,
help I'm offering.
Your uncle.
My uncle's first attempt at trying to cut me off from the manor, it backfired, though. I wasn't as crazy as he believed. More the quality of the recordings. Could be. But I mean, even when she's like talking to herself, making comments, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Alright, so I think we've been everywhere down here. So we need to go back upstairs. There's nothing here. cigarette case.
This belongs to Anna. Most of her belongings are in the guest house. What was she doing in here?
Plotting.
Someone has a sense of humor.
Her dad. Nice. See, we already know that we need the master key for that. We need the master key for this door here. What I don't know is if there's supposed to be any platforming in this. Stuff like that. Wait a minute. No.
This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the library through the servants' passages.
Alright, so she went from a chair downstairs, maybe, into the basement. One of two. Okay, interesting.
Wait, I can get to the library through the old servants' corridor.
Amelia, the news has reached Mother. She knows that you broke off your engagement with the Earl of Farringdon. She is beside herself with worry. But, for the moment, she's controlling the narrative. As far as anyone knows, you're just having innocent second thoughts. But the moment your affair with Lord Croft goes public, it will be too late. Our name will be as ruined as this man you've chosen to bed. Don't you see that you're being selfish, Amelia? Please, consider your family. You're a de Mornay. Everything you do has a greater effect on us all. I'm coming down to London soon. Don't do anything rash until we have a chance to talk.
Well, Mom was engaged to someone else. The Lord Farrington dude. You're supposed to wash your ears when you shower? Wait a minute. How did I not know this? Maybe that is the problem.
Falling apart. Maybe I should just let my uncle have this place.
Can't jump. Come on, turn.
They say a good test of a relationship is how well you travel together. Well, I'd say Amelia and I have passed that test with flying colors. Indeed, these last few months in Egypt have been nothing short of extraordinary. She and Roth get on like old uni chums. In fact, the two have spent more than a few nights drinking and playing cards into the wee hours. Despite her decidedly proper upbringing, Amelia's taken to roughing it more than I ever have. She fits in and connects with the local populace with such amazing empathy. Because of her, I've had a bit of an unexpected breakthrough in my research. She managed to convince an artifact dealer in Old Town to sell me a magnificent and quite unusual Tibetan scroll. From what I can tell, it seems to contain details surrounding an immortality ritual of some sort. I think it's time for me to take the next step with Amelia. In fact, I don't think I can wait any longer. I will ask for her hand tomorrow in the bright Egyptian sun amidst the dust and ruins.
Her dad did seem to be pretty obsessed with immortality. I heard so many stories about that expedition. To see it from Dad's perspective makes me realize that it was Mom who made it so memorable. Tumbleweeds.
I'm not surprised he asked her to marry him as soon as he got the idea.
Master key? as we slowly transition into the Outlast portion of our stream.
Amelia, I know we have had our differences in recent years. I've tried my best to keep an open mind about your relationship with Richard, but I just can't let you go on this ill-conceived expedition without saying my piece. You say Richard's theories have merit. You say that he may have actually stumbled upon some mythic, unknown truth, but I have seen nothing to support such claims. And while your word may have been enough in times past, I cannot let you squander away what remains of your name and reputation, and that of our family, truth be told, on some damned foolish crusade. I intend to go to Richard's investors and let them know exactly how he's spending their money, but I want to give you a chance to put a stop to this yourself. Please, don't go to Tibet. If not for me, at least for Lara.
Bring the kids into it. Bring the kids into it.
Still just as creepy as I remember.
See, I told you. Outlast. Croft style. Jump scare! We won't move it yet. Come down here and look at this other half of the map, maybe? Nope.
My lord, I hope this missive finds you on a successful expedition and in good health. Before I bore you with estate affairs, I wanted to let you know that our little angel has been into some mischief. As always, I indulged her in our usual game of chess. Over the course of the game, she broached the subject of her mother. She's having trouble remembering her now, and wanted to enter her ladyship's atelier, which you sealed off, to play on her mother's piano. It enraged her when she wasn't allowed to go in, of course. For someone so young, she has such strong emotions.
That she does.
Later in the day, she set a trap for me in the walk-in freezer, of all places. And before I knew what was happening, I found myself locked inside. Mrs. Sheffield discovered me an hour later, shivering and somewhat peeved. It took us an additional hour to find Lara in the grounds. I know all her hiding places, of course, but this time she really did not want to be found. Call it years of observation, but I can tell when she's out of sorts. My lord, if I may be so bold, she misses you fiercely. She is lonely for her father. Please consider a call as soon as you are able.
Oh, poor Winston. I remember doing that to him. I can't believe I was such a little brat. Thank goodness he had such patience with me.
Poor Winston. I remember being so angry. He was always so patient with me.
Let's move the wine out of the way.
King to Queen 1. I'm going to win this time, Winston.
Clever girl. But you should know by now, winning isn't everything. Queen to King's Bishop 6. Check.
Easy for you to say. You always win. Knight takes queen.
What I mean to say is try to enjoy the journey, Lara. Don't rush to victory. Bishop to King 7.
I know, Winston. I just want... Oh no! I didn't even see that!
You should also know by now, I'm not to be trifled with on this board, young lady. Mate.
Oh, I am going to win. Someday.
So now we need a crowbar.
I would play chess with our old butler Winston on this board. Never could beat him. I always chose white. Maybe if I let him go first once in a while, I might have won.
I'm at a crossroads now. Good Lord, that's such a cliche. But there's truth in it. 2 roads before me. Both present joy and compromise. A life with Richard, adventure, intellectual pursuit, perhaps a new family. But also a man obsessed with something I cannot understand. Or a life of obligation, upholding the de Mornay name, embracing our traditions, not losing the family that raised me. Oh, this really is a rubbish choice. I don't want to lose them, but I love the life I've started to build with Richard. He comes with his own difficulties, but I can accept them. Will it be enough?
She didn't say it that time. The last time she actually said the little caption at the top. I typically read those, but I didn't read this one because she spoke the last one.
Everything is almost ready for Mistress Lara's birthday expedition surprise. It's been a bit of an all-hands-on-deck effort organizing the affair and keeping it secret. She's obsessed with Egypt, memorizing hieroglyphs and ancient Egyptian districts, so she'll be delighted with what Lord Croft has come up with. This will be good for her. She's been acting up of late, but I know she's just craving more of her father's attention. He's been so buried in his research. It'll be a nice moment for the 2 of them to reconnect. And I do believe he needs it as much as she does.
Alright, looks like another move. Alright, so pull that one back out of the way. Oh, and of course we get a squeeze here, right? No? Maybe we pull it all the way out. And go back around.
Dad loved a good bottle of wine. I can still smell his favorite Bordeaux.
Dad, this is it! The basement of despair.
Indeed, Lara. Muster your courage, for this is the only path to the Library of Infinite Knowledge.
Egyptian.
Look there, see the string?
An ancient Egyptian tripwire. The Keepers of Knowledge want none to disturb their treasures. We must tread carefully.
Let me lead. I know how to spot all the traps.
I'm sure you do, my darling. Lead on.
There is a map, okay. Interesting that there would be artifacts and stuff down here with it being so wet. Of course, it may not have always been like this. This place being so old.
One of the wire traps Winston made for my birthday expedition. Winston used my hair ribbons to make this. He and Dad put a lot of work into this birthday surprise. damage from the main hall above.
Let's go back up this way first. Teddy bear.
My stuffed bear. I couldn't have a tomb without a mummy.
Nice. Mummy bear. Okay. I mean, geez, if it wasn't for the memories, I'd say let Uncle Atlas have it. This place is kind of a dump. Secrets of the past. Squeeze. Let me guess, there's going to be a crowbar in there.
This bust of Anubis was from Dad's Egyptian collection. He must have put it down in the basement for our little expedition.
Alright, that makes sense. It wasn't stored here. Crowbar, anybody want to guess? No, we need it for that. Okay. Thought for sure there was going to be a crowbar in there. Okay.
Plans for
Blueprints.
adding electricity to the manor. Dad used to say his granny hated all the bright lights.
Page 2 is
There's a
missing.
missing page.
Amelia left tonight. She packed her suitcase and walked right out of here, and I didn't even notice. Like those days in the Oxford Library before we even met, I just had my nose in a book, lost in my own world. I am such a fool. I have let my obsession with this damned ritual of long life rule my better judgment for far too long, and it may already be too late. How could I have not seen this coming? I've made this mistake over and over, always putting my research before my personal life. But it's never hurt like this before. I simply cannot live without her. If I have to give up this accursed quest that has plagued me for so long, then so be it. I am going after her, right now, tonight.
It was almost over before it started. I always admired Dad's ability to recognize when he was wrong. Is that it?
Okay, Dad's ledger has to be in here somewhere. Hopefully it has the combination to the safe.
I've created a clever little map for Lara's birthday expedition. I used the invisible ink Amelia picked up for me in Morocco so many years ago. At the time, I remember being so annoyed by that rather aggressive street vendor, but she just smiled in her sunny way and paid him without a second thought. I assumed it was just a tourist scam, but it actually works. Turns out it requires a very specific kind of vellum and a heat source to illuminate the ink after it's dried. It should prove a nice challenge for Lara to puzzle out.
Dad put so much work into that birthday expedition. Alright, so there's some upstairs to see. We'll get everything down here first.
One of Winston's notes. He always hid sweets for me to find.
Lara, Jaffa Cakes next to William Blake.
I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol and a number. I always preferred these symbols to the actual number hieroglyphs.
Now, let me see. These two myths are referencing the same source material. But where did I see this image?
Dad, I think it's this one, in the chapter on Egyptian districts.
Why, yes, I think you're right, Lara.
I remember the page with the illustration of Ra.
My goodness, you've been paying attention, haven't you? This could be an important breakthrough.
Does this mean I'm your research assistant?
That and more, my darling girl.
Takes me back. Those were good times. The best times.
Ah, look at the animal in the back.
I've reached the monastery. As Roth predicted, it was hidden deep in the Himalayas. And now that I'm standing on these high stone walls, I am overwhelmed by the sheer beauty of the mountains that surround me. It is simply breathtaking. But what adds to their spiritual majesty is the truth of this place. The monks welcomed me, as is their way, but they seemed to expect me. They must have known someone like me would eventually come seeking answers. I know this is the place. They've conducted the ritual before. I have seen the evidence, the distinctive symbols carved into the floors, the art displayed on the inner chamber's walls. They've created the elixir before, and they will again if I can convince them. I sent Amelia a message straight away. I want her by my side for this discovery.
Dad never told me about this myth. Why was he so sure? What did he find that convinced him it was real?
Dad was looking for an elixir. Was it the elixir of life?
For God's sake, memorize the combination.
Thanks, Tibby.
you fool.
We'll see you in a bit.
Lara's expedition treasure. My favorite painting by Amelia. The day of our wedding anniversary.
Memorize the combination. Treasure, painting, anniversary. Dad would never have written down the combination, but it looks like he left himself clues to remember the numbers.
Okay, got to find those objects to figure out the combination to the safe. There's something else here. This is my handiwork. I used to love drawing pictures of tigers. Spent so many hours in here, reading, dreaming of my own adventures.
Alright, 2 ways to go up. That one moves.
I always accepted that Richard's rather unorthodox research was just something I had to live with. But this time, the thrill of discovery has taken hold of me. I never imagined I could be drawn in this way. Richard cabled to tell me he's found the monastery. The symbol we deciphered in the scroll was the key to its location. I don't know if I honestly believe that this will lead to the fabled elixir of life, but I can't help but feel that a great secret awaits us there. My brother was threatening to shut down the expedition. but I managed to talk him down for the time being. Now I am going to meet Richard. I would bring Lara if I could, but she's still too young. She'll be in good hands with Winston, and when we return, her parents might just be a bit more famous.
Bit more famous. Right. Nathan Drake. His long lost brother. Peas in a pod.
Dad's lighter. I don't remember him ever using it, though. The Croft family crest and initials PC. I wonder if this belonged to my grandfather. Okay, should be able to light the fireplace now.
I didn't know I needed to light the fireplace at all. Okay, I mean, other than some additional light.
This was always one of my favorite books in this library. I used to trace hieroglyphs.
This wasn't here the first time, was? Did I just completely miss it? Weird. Either weird or I'm going blind. Which, you know, I wear glasses, so...
This music is familiar. It's beautiful.
Just waiting to see if she's going to say anything else. Of course, if this is an actual piece of music, we'll get a copyright dispute on this video on YouTube. Even though it's part of the game. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It appears Sir Reginald's helmet fell off. Or didn't I put it back properly?
I mean, there's definitely something up there. Probably something that I have to move. Alright, doesn't look like it's locked.
Took quite a tumble off of this old thing when I was a girl. Still feel it in the shoulder from time to time.
Would that be the shoulder that she keeps rubbing? We've done that like 3 times since we started. Is this a pull or a push? Okay. See if there's anything we can get a better view of now that we're up here. Alright, there's a room up there. There's no ladder over there, but I don't see any way we can get up there. Unless we do something on the chandelier. Third piece of the blueprints, maybe? Second piece of the map?
Blank, except for the image of a key. I remember this map now. It leads to the master key, but we made it with a special kind of invisible ink. It could only be seen with the heat of a fire. I can see the map. Looks like the key is hidden under a trunk near the bookcase.
To the right of the desk.
X marks the spot, as they say.
Come on, Laura.
The
The
master
music,
key.
yeah.
This should get me into the West Wing. All right. This should open most rooms in the manor, including the Forbidden West Wing.
Well, at least her lips are moving this time, I think, on a lot of that stuff, especially when she was like at the camps. When we went to a base camp, she would like talk. She was talking to herself there, but this time her lips were moving. Okay, let's see. We needed to go up over here. This one does not move. Blueprints? No.
This picture was taken in the library.
That Mom?
$1820 additions to the main hall in progress.
Let's see, are we upstairs or downstairs? Let's go back up.
The Pharaoh's crown from my birthday treasure hunt. How old was I again? 6? 8? I think this hieroglyph corresponds to a number, but which one?
2 birds. Okay. I wonder if we need to try and go maybe backtrack in the basement or whatever.
Okay, Dad's clues mention Mum's paintings and their anniversary. Hopefully I can find some answers in the West Wing.
Wolverine! We saw him yesterday in the Baba Yaga stuff. Alright, this is where we started. There's the safe. Still don't have the combination. This is where we went in. I want to go back through here. I think there was...
Mistress Lara, I took the liberty of preparing a tray, as dinner did not go according to plans. I've included, in addition to your meal, a few treats. I would appreciate it if you kept this between us, but I felt tonight called for something special. If you will forgive me the indulgence, your rapid exit from the dinner table had me concerned, and I wanted to impart something that I hope sets your mind at ease. I have known your father for quite some time. There is an intensity to his passion that can be frightening, but I recognize that same passion in you.
Driven?
You're more like him than you know. Never doubt that he loves you more than his research, more than his artifacts, more than anything in this world. Storms pass, and tomorrow will be clear and blue again. When you have finished, please leave the tray outside. Be well. Yours, Winston.
I don't even remember this letter. I'm sure I wasn't able to read it at the time. Did he write this more for himself than me? We found the master key. And now we're trying to find... yeah, the remaining combination relics. We found the key underneath the chest next to the bookcase down by the desk in that room that we were in with the ladders. And when we took the key and went up the ladder, one of the boxes up there, one of the chests up there had a headband in it that had a hieroglyphs in the middle. It's made out of paper. She made it. And that was the second part of one of the clues. All right, where are we? Let's go back this way. It looks like it's a smaller area. All right. This is back where we were. Yeah, oh, sorry, it wasn't a book. It was not a chest. It was this bookcase right here. Because there's the box that the key was in. And the chest is right up there at the top of the stairs. All right, I don't see anything else. back downstairs from the first area. It was going to be behind this door. But let's go up here. This was one of the locked doors. Oh boy.
Worse than I thought.
Yeah, I'm thinking Uncle Atlas can have it.
Okay, Lara, keep it together. You're starting to see things. Mum's atelier. Dad sealed it soon after she died. He probably couldn't bear the idea of removing any of her belongings.
My lord, we all hope your work was well received at the conference and look forward to your return. As is so often the case with these missives, I wanted to call your attention to an incident involving our little angel. It seems that Lara has been the subject of some ridicule amongst the other girls at school. From what I can gather, some of the other young ladies were teasing her for being too much of a tomboy. You know how Lara can get when pushed into a corner. Let's just say they won't be bothering her again. But I do think their words have had an effect. I believe Lara has been missing her mother lately. She's begun to worry that she isn't like the other girls. And having grown up with only a father, it shouldn't come as a surprise that she has trouble relating to them. I wonder if this new friend of yours, Anna, is it? Perhaps she might prove a welcome influence. It might be worth bringing her to the manor to meet Lara. In any case, I'll let you decide the proper time to do that. Please travel home safely. Yours, Winston.
I think we need a dance game for Anna. So we know what she turned out to be, besides dead.
Untouched for years, exactly as you left it.
This is the paintings, right? Her mom's favorite painting.
I stood up to my family's criticism, stood in defense of Richard and our love. But as my new life began in Croft Manor, doubt set in. How could love flourish in these cavernous halls and endless passageways? Had I made a terrible mistake? I have never been more delighted to be wrong. Richard welcomed me to the manor, my new home, with a game. It was a clue, written in jumbled words from 5 different languages, but it pointed the way forward. The next clue was a seemingly blank piece of parchment in the kitchen, where the heat of a candle revealed a message written in lemon juice. I followed each step, grinning like a child as I solved his riddles and chased the trail to its end. A white cloth stretched out on the lawn where a picnic was laid out. We laughed and ate, and my doubt vanished with the last of the morning mist. Love can and will endure.
Good job, Dad. You knew how hard this decision was for her, and you made it easy. Piano.
Mum's paintings. Which one was Dad's favorite?
I thought it was her favorite.
I returned home this afternoon to collect the last of my paintings. I suppose I should say I returned to my family's home. Atlas was there, in one of his foul moods, and even as he dripped venom for Richard with his cruel barbs, I could only laugh. To think that I once listened to my bitter brother in matters of my own happiness. My dismissal only served to infuriate him more. I left him there in Father's study, muttering to himself. On the drive back, as Winston took a longer route through the country, I looked through my paintings. Richard's favourite one among them, a simple abstract with blocks of red. I smiled, thinking about giving it to him. I was happy, and I was going home.
Not that they didn't make it obvious, right? Blocks of red in all capital letters.
Blocks of red. Dad's favorite painting. Maybe something about that painting will help me figure out the combination.
Her mom and her.
Mum with me as a baby. I've never seen this. Hard to believe I was ever that small. I don't have any memory of this. I wish I could remember doing this. Mum died too young.
I can't do anything. There's nothing to... Unless there's another painting in here that has red blocks on it. Which would make sense, I guess, considering how big the room is.
You've almost got it, darling. Here, let me show you. Like this, see? Well done, Lara. Well done.
I wonder how my life would have been different had she lived.
I have a lighter. Ah, didn't see that before. Maybe it's up here.
This was for a show in London of Mum's work. What I wouldn't give to see this today.
Gallery of Fine Art. Amelia Croft, London Art Gallery. October 23rd, New York. Gallery Spotlight.
It says here, Amelia Croft plans to show her work in New York. I wonder what happened with that.
That painting is downstairs. Or down the ladder.
Lara arrived tonight, though not without a bit of drama, but all is well. She's a healthy, beautiful baby. I've never seen Richard so happy. I'm sure he'll be celebrating with his favourite whiskey tonight.
And a steak.
It's calm and peaceful now. Just the gentle sound of the rain and the small, sleeping breaths of this new life I hold in my arms. Lara Croft, my darling daughter. It's hard to put into words this feeling I have. We share a connection, something I never expected. A love so powerful and pure. Someday you'll feel it too. No matter where you go or where you find your place in this world, we will always have this connection.
I still feel that connection to you, Mom. See, that's the painting right there. It's on the brochure. But this is a painting. With red blocks on it. I mean, I can't grab it, move it. There's no magnifying glass. I don't see anything else I can interact with. Search. Okay, find proof of Laura's legal claim. Search the remaining combination relics in the master bedroom. So maybe I thought we maybe had to interact with the
I'm
painting.
glad I still have so much of Mum's work.
Crowbar?
The Croft family crest.
Nice. I like the detail on that. Is there anything over here? Okay. All right.
I believe it took this trip to push me over the edge. I've been able to see Richard in his element, seeing him at his best and his worst. I've
And his
experienced
worst.
the purity and chaos of his passion, and I came to realize I want his passion in my life every day. So it's done. Richard wanted to wait another 4 days until my birthday, but I wouldn't have it. Once I make a decision, I prefer to get on with it. So we found a small chapel in Luxor that was just right. And with Roth and the others at our side, we married as the sun set over this remarkable land. Mother will never forgive me. Atlas will forever resent me. But I don't care anymore. I'm free of De Mornay obligations, free to pursue my own passions and live my life surrounded by those who will encourage and challenge me. I'm excited for the future, whatever it may bring. Tomorrow, Richard and I return home to London as the Crofts,
The Crofts.
forging our path together.
Marrying in Luxor was Mom's idea. I never knew. I'm lucky to have this glimpse of her so many years later. Ring.
Mum's wedding ring. I always wondered what happened to it. The inscription is faded.
Eternally yours.
I am bursting with pride. Amelia is with child. It is amazing how everything in life can change with such a simple event. Obviously, we don't know the gender, but already we've discussed possible names. Perhaps Benjamin, after my grandfather, Or maybe Griffin. He was more infamous at Croft than even me. No, Amelia wouldn't have it. Besides, she's certain it's a girl. She favors a classic such as Scarlet or Kate, though I've made some headway with Lara. A subtle nod to the sun god Ra, and our days in Egypt, where certainly this child was conceived. I find myself thinking about this new life we've created, of how much she might be like us. For all my research into myths of immortality, I may have ignored the most obvious answer to the questions that plague me. We live on through our progeny, our genes, DNA, experiences passed through the generations. Perhaps this is the simple truth of eternal life, and I've just been too stubborn to accept it.
I'd say there's probably some truth to that. In a way, Dad found the secret of immortality and didn't even realize it. And I'm glad they went with Laura.
Dad may have discovered the secret to immortality without even knowing it.
Amelia would not have approved. That alone should have been the end of it. But I am, as God made me, a stubborn fool. I locked all the West Wing's doors, and I shall not open them again until either my life or my obstinacy comes to an end. The night before, Roth told me I would someday change my mind. Like a broken arm cast in plaster, he said. The wound would heal, and we would someday shed the bandages to be whole again. The metaphor made me furious. The clumsy way he cast our loss off as nothing more than an inconvenience. There is wisdom in his rough words, but I've done what I must. Perhaps one day, Lara will throw back the doors to let the sun shine in again. Maybe she will find her own sense of peace in this place.
At least that old thing still works.
Necklace.
I remember this. Dad gave it to Mum on her birthday. October 13th, Mum's birthday.
That's my oldest daughter's birthday, too.
Pretty sure my parents were married in October. I think it was close to her birthday. Okay, back to the study to open that safe. Mum, on her wedding day, she looks so beautiful.
October.
There's a date. October something. Damn, the number is faded. Their anniversary was in October, but which day? I can't believe I don't know this. There's got to be another clue somewhere. My mother's perfume. The smell. So familiar. I can almost remember her.
All right, Tippy. We'll see you again soon. Again.
After everything Atlas has done, how could you tell him about the expedition?
It's just all been too much. I needed to talk to someone. He's still my brother.
I don't trust him.
You don't have to, Richard, but please, trust me.
I'm sorry, my dear, but I know him. He'll take it to the papers. The investors will pull out.
Then go. Without me. Tonight. I will take care of Atlas. And then meet you in Tibet next week.
I was so young, but I still remember that terrible argument. It wasn't always an easy road for my parents. I think this was Dad's pocket watch. Looks like it stopped precisely at midnight. This is Dad. I suppose it's a family tradition, but I can't imagine having one of these made of me.
It's kind of hard to represent a ponytail and marble bust. here now. Let's see that before. Hey, KDT, how's it going? Welcome. Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while.
With Amelia gone, the manor is a different place. A dimness pervades, a quiet I can't stand. Even though Lara is too young to understand what has happened, she also senses the change. She's asked after her mother only once, and I'm afraid my reaction must have terrified her. I will need Winston more than ever these next few months to help look after her. I never quite realized how much grief can consume a man, but I am utterly consumed. I know I can't escape the pain, but I will try my damnedest to avoid it. I will seal the West Wing for as long as I live in this place. It will remain exactly as Amelia left it. Perhaps someday Lara can find her own answers there.
Dad was right. I could sense the change, and now I'm going to find my own answers. Hey, Venture Fear, what's up, man? Welcome back to you, too. We are doing the Blood Ties DLC, if you are familiar with that. Okay, so we're supposed to go back to the study, but I thought... Let's see. I wanted to go back downstairs. Because I thought that there was something down there that was locked that we needed the key for. That's not what I was thinking. I want it to go here. Let's go back through this way. No, maybe not. The crowbar. We don't have the crowbar. Maybe that's what I'm mistaking. I was thinking it was the key that I needed stuff for, but it was probably the crowbar instead. Yeah, there's actually this piece of the DLC. There's actually another piece to it called Lara's Nightmare. Yeah, okay, this is another crowbar one right here. Supposedly takes place in a Russian military facility out here out in Siberia too, where the main game took place. Plus the survival mode, which came later. But that was also later patched to allow for co-op survival. Even though they call it endurance mode, it's essentially a survival mode. We've got that on the books for tomorrow. We're going to give that a try tomorrow. All right, I think I've got everything that I can find. Jeez. I mean, you're right, Hazcat. There's stuff everywhere. check everything. I mean, how many? Look at all the stuff we've already found. 71 things, and there's still a lot left. I mean, I don't know if the opening the safe. You may be right
Dad,
about
what do you keep in
about
there?
what's in the
Nothing
safe.
too important, Lara. Estate business and such.
If it's not important, then why bother putting it in a safe?
I should know better than to try and pull one over on you. There is something important in here. And it's for you, should you need it someday.
Well, let's hope you came through for me, Dad.
So yeah, I'm interested in trying the endurance mode. The only thing of that ilk that I've played is the survival mode in The Division, which I thought is challenging, sometimes very tough, but it was a lot of fun.
Found all the clues. Let's see if I can figure this out.
Okay.
No, that didn't work. The answer has to be in the clues.
Right, review the documents. Safe combination. Okay. Which one was Dad's favorite? It's the one with the red blocks. There are 4 red blocks on it. So maybe that's one of the numbers.
I believe it took this trip to push me over the edge. I've been able to see Richard in his element, seeing him at his best and his worst. I've experienced the purity and chaos of his passion, and I came to realize I want his passion in my life every day. So it's done. Richard wanted to wait another 4 days until my birthday, but I wouldn't have it. Once I make a decision, I prefer to get on with it. So we found a small chapel in Luxor that was just right. And with Roth and the others at our side, we married as the sun set over this remarkable land. Mother will never forgive me. Atlas will forever resent me. But I don't care anymore. I'm free of de Mornay obligations. Free to pursue my own passions and live my life surrounded by those who will encourage and challenge me. I'm excited for the future, whatever it may bring. Tomorrow, Richard and I return home to London as the Crofts, forging our path together.
Right, and we saw something in the bedroom that said that her birthday was on the 13th, right? October 13th, so another 4 days until her birthday would have put the day that they got married on the 9th. So, assuming those two numbers are correct, we have a 4 and we have a 9. And I'm guessing that what this number is actually going to be is it's going to be Laura's birthday, would be my guess.
For God's sake, memorize the combination, you fool. Lara's expedition treasure. My favorite painting by Amelia. The day of our wedding anniversary.
So it looks like it might be something 4-9. So we have to look at that headband that has the hieroglyph on it with the 2 birds on it and see what number that corresponds to. And that should be the first number, and it'll be something 4-9.
I returned home this afternoon to collect the last of my paintings. I suppose I should say I returned to my family's home.
That's not the right one. Where was... No, it's not that. Amelia's necklace, hieroglyphs worksheet.
I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol and a number. I always preferred these symbols to the actual number hieroglyphs.
So I'm guessing $5.49. Does anybody disagree with that? Right? Oh, that's not what I wanted.
For God's sake,
So
memorize
Expedition
the
Treasure,
combination, you
which was the
fool.
headband, which
Lara's
that's 5.
Expedition Treasure.
The favorite painting had 4 red blocks on it. And
For God.
the day of her anniversary is the 9th. So 5, 4, 9.
That worked. It makes me happy to know that Dad kept this safe.
Nothing on the back.
No, that's not what I'm looking for.
I am numb. Hooray! It is taking all my willpower to hold back the overwhelming grief. Amelia's plane crashed in the mountains. She died alone in the snow, waiting for me to find her. Oh God, not her, not now. I cannot accept it. Life without her is too painful to imagine. I know what must be done, and I am resolved. I'm going to bring her back. Perhaps this is why I am here. Perhaps this is fate, a test of my faith in the truth I've sought for so long. Roth will fight me on this, but I can't face Lara. I can't look into her eyes unless I try. I must try to bring Amelia back. The monks are preparing the elixir now, and then we will see if all my years of hunting this truth was for naught.
Dad, oh no, what did you do? So he tried to bring his mom, her mom, back from the dead?
Dad, what did you do? Dad's sequel to his first book on immortality. He never got a chance to publish it. Handwritten. This is the only copy. Damn, this isn't it either.
Blueprints.
I was certain there had to be a will in here. Wait, what's that?
It's the last page of the blueprints.
A blank page.
Maybe. Maybe not. Bring it to a fire, maybe.
Dad must have left this for me. It has to be important.
We have to go back to the room where the fire was, which is here. We don't need stairs.
A hidden message. What are these strange marks? They have to be some kind of clue.
Okay. Oh, there's definitely a bird there. That's downstairs in the basement. Because the chessboard is down there on the bottom right where she had the thing with Winston. So we have to go back down there and move a section of the wine racks. Okay, so that's that. And what's this on the other side? I mean, that's a bird on the right. Not sure what the other two are, though. Line that up on the left with the top. I don't know. Well, we know we have to go down there. Let's make sure something mysterious didn't pop up in here. So we did that already. We didn't go the right way. You mean numbers on the paper or these numbers over here on the walls? It looked like they were either 2 8s or 2 infinity symbols. Right? Those two. I don't know. I mean, I can't interact with that one. That one either. I don't know. Alright, so supposedly one of these racks, this one right here, yeah, we can move it. Okay, numbers. No.
I-
Journals.
A blank page.
Oh, really? I gotta go back to a fire again? Really? How the hell did I get in here? Great. Great! So we know we had a bird. have a lighter. I mean, why can't I use the lighter to provide the heat for the piece of paper rather than having to go all the way back upstairs for a fireplace? We do what we must. Okay, now I can't use the fireplace again.
A hidden message.
Okay.
A blank page.
Oh, okay. All right, there's two entries in there for the piece of paper. One is where it's blank, and the other one... All right, I just misinterpreted. We did not need to come back up here. Okay, so we did that side. So we have a bird.
I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol and a number. I always preferred these symbols to the actual number hieroglyphs.
A 2 and a 1 looks like. Right?
A hidden message.
Right, so the one on the left is the 1, and the bird is number 2. And whatever this thing is, we got to figure out, look back at the sheet to see what that is.
I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol and a number. I always preferred these symbols to the actual number hieroglyphs.
142, right? Let me look at it again.
A hidden message.
Yeah, because it has the little hook thing on the bottom, right? All right, so we have...
I remember this now.
Yeah.
Each district in ancient Egypt.
So we have 142 is the other combination. Okay, this looks like it's in relatively good shape.
Locked in. Did this open the secret door from the inside? Hope I'm not trapped in here.
Jay, thank you for the hose. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. We are down in the bowels of Croft Manor.
Did Dad build all of this just to keep his research safe?
Whoa. Yeah. Just kind of spooky and cool at the same time.
Richard, I tried to see you in person last week, but your manservant hustled me away like some common tout peddling silverware. He told me you are heartbroken and you're not yet ready to see visitors. He told me you blame yourself for your loss. Well, to that, I say, you had damn well better. I hope it hurts. I hope every moment of your life from this day forward is a ringing echo of loss. I hope you live just long enough to feel that pain grow when you hoped it would diminish, because you earned it. You stole Amelia from us. You ruined her reputation and poisoned her mind with a fantasy for children. In the end, you might as well have choked the life from her with your own hands.
Excellent!
Do not contact me again.
Jay,
Ever.
what's up?
But you must make arrangements for the future of your daughter. Have you considered perhaps it would be better if you followed Amelia sooner rather than later? As Lara's legal guardian, perhaps I could erase some of the damage you've already done to the poor girl. If not, I will do everything in my power to see to it that the Croft name is forgotten. Lara deserves better than you. So did Amelia. And so do we all. Atlas.
Interesting. I didn't realize that. Maybe it's part of the lore. Maybe it's not. That he was her legal guardian. I guess if he's missing, right? That's part of the lore too, right? He's missing. So maybe that's when that happened.
Dad's collected knowledge. There must be so many secrets hidden in here.
The Croft Codex.
This was part of a set of statues Dad
Emerald.
found in China.
Jade.
He thought it was linked to the Temple of Xian. Perhaps I should look into it someday.
Ah, there's the last page.
The missing page from the renovation plans. They didn't want anyone outside the family knowing about this crypt.
Styrofoam peanuts.
My love. It is silent. So peacefully silent now. Even after the madness and chaos of the crash, I can't help but still wonder at the beauty of these mountains. I understand the magic that drew you here. Please know that I feel no pain in this moment. Only immense sadness. Sadness that I couldn't see your smiling face once more. That I'll never meet the wonderful woman that our daughter will become. There is so much to say, but I'm tired. The sun is setting. The cold of night will overwhelm me. I know I will fall asleep soon, and likely never again awaken in this world. I'm scared, Richard. What lies beyond? You know I've always struggled with faith, so I'm holding on to yours for now. I'm holding on as best I can, my love. Become the father Lara deserves. Know that I will live on in her.
I can't imagine what Dad felt reading this letter from Mom. I can barely read it without bursting into tears. I hope he came to eventually see Amelia in me. Hey, Bob, welcome. Man, long time no see. Welcome, man. Let's see. Doing good. Doing good. Yeah, this is the first time I've done it too. It's doing a good job of filling in a lot of the lore and the backstory about, what happened with her mom, especially. Essentially, what the backstory of this piece of the DLC is Laura's uncle is trying to take Croft Manor, the property, away from the family, and she's trying to find information to prevent that from happening. So, I mean, I think we're fairly close to being done with it. But it's pretty interesting. It really is. There's no fighting, no combat, no nothing like that. It's just walking around the house, looking for clues. So.
Mum faced death alone. She was so brave. Might
There it
use
is.
this to access other parts of the manor. There's an inscription. This is the Croft universe. Our knowledge is to the east, our respite to the west. Our future is to the south, our past is to the north. Our past to the north. Could there be something else beneath the manor? Amazing. Even in here, Dad went out of his way to hide his findings.
Yeah, I like it a lot too, Bob. I like both of them. The original reboot and this one too. I think they're both great.
It's over. I have done all that I could, and my Amelia is still cold and dead. Roth first scowled at my designs. Then he pleaded with me not to go through with the ritual. Not because he feared it might work, but because he feared what I might do when it failed. And it has failed. There is no doubt in that. I prepared everything according to my research. When I dropped the stone into the elixir and held it to her lips, I thought for the barest moment that it had worked. The hour was midnight and my pocket watch stopped inexplicably. There was a charge in the air like the moment before a lightning strike. For a heartbeat, I imagined that my life was being drawn from me as one empties a glass in order to be poured back into Amelia. I would have welcomed death if the last thing I saw were her eyes, clear and alive again. But the moment passed. Amelia is still dead, and I was no Orpheus. We will return to the manor and lay her to rest. I owe her that much.
Right, most secure crowbar ever. As part of this, in all of her dad's adventures and travels, he had found, information on how to make this elixir, which he was going to try and make in order to bring her mom, Laura's mom, back to life after she died. She died in a plane crash. And that's what they're referring to on their recording.
You brought her home.
That
She's
elixir.
here, somewhere.
not sure if I'm supposed to interact with anything in here or whether it's just something visual. Oh, what's this?
Dad's Tibetan scroll. I remember he used to pore over this late into the night.
Ah, okay. Crowbar right here.
Hi, Dad. So I know I only just returned to school, but when can I come out to the dig site again? It's just so boring here. We're doing all the stuff I already read last summer. I always end up staring out the window and thinking about our expeditions, and then I'm yelled at for daydreaming. I promise I'll be good and not disturb you and just work wherever you tell me. I just miss it, Dad. And I miss you.
And I miss you. Okay, so that was just to get out of there. No. I would rather there be a prompt to do the squeeze. We don't need to worry about... Oh, what's this?
The renovations are proceeding in secret. The work crew Roth hired for the job have been paid handsomely to keep the details of the job out of the records, so I'm fairly confident no word will get out about what I'm doing. I've been careless with presenting my findings, attracting all the wrong sorts of attention. Roth thinks I'm being paranoid by building this secret vault, but I know I'm being watched. My work is too important and potentially too dangerous. It can't fall into the wrong hands. I need a secure place to keep it all safe.
Dad must have seemed paranoid to Roth, but I understand why he built this vault. Alright. Anything else pop up? This wasn't working before, and I don't think we've done anything to fix it. Not that we need it anyway, because there's a hole in the wall. Solve the riddle of the sun-shaped plaque. So is it supposed... So that was on the floor in the office upstairs, right? Right here. All right, let's look at it again. This is the Croft universe. Our knowledge is to the east, our respite to the west, our future to the south, and our path to the north. Ah, shit.
There's an inscription. This is the Croft universe. Our knowledge is to the east, our respite to the west. Our future is to the south, our past is to the north.
Okay. Knowledge to the east. Respite to the west. Okay, so that's in the lobby. There was a door.
Our knowledge is to the east, our respite to the west. Our future is to the south, our past is to the north. Containers or anything that we needed access to that we needed the crowbar for up here? Yeah, I think we kind of strangely beautiful.
I think we kind of took an informal vote earlier, and I think this place is pretty much a dump. I say we should just let Uncle Atlas have it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything up here anyway. Required crowbar.
Incredible. This crypt was here all along.
Mom.
I expected a sort of crushing finality to grip me when we returned to the manor to lay Amelia to rest. Indeed, once the last of my funereal duties were performed, I fully believed that I would crumple to the ground next to her and expire, not from grief, but succumbing to the terrible exhaustion of the last few weeks. Instead, as the mausoleum stones slid into place, I felt a sort of peace and energy. One that I confess caught me entirely off guard. This was not the terminus of our story, and I was a fool to think so. Her body may be gone, but her spirit still resides here, in the manor, in me, in Lara. Her soul is forever twined with mine, and death is just a momentary interruption. I walked out of that cold quiet into a sunlight that burned my eyes, and I have never been more sure. Death is not the end, and there is work yet to do.
There you go. This is where it all started, our family obsession. Well, now it's time for me to complete our work. Immortality. In memory of our loving husband and father, earth has no sorrow that heaven cannot heal. Here lies our beloved grandfather. Looks like the same inscription. A different symbol. Yeah, they all have the same. This one's different. Lost now, but loved forever. Somebody, Marie Croft, here lies.
My God, can it be? Dad, you did bring her home.
1801, 1874, beloved by family, cherished by friends. I lived a good life. Now I'll have a good rest.
My great-grandmother Rose, nicknamed the Golden Rose for her perfect reputation. I wonder what she would have thought of me.
Scarlett Croft, Thomas Edward Croft.
My dearest Lara, it is difficult to write this, knowing these may only ever be words on a page to you. I wonder if you will remember my voice. Will you remember the way we used to play and laugh? Will you remember me comforting you when you were sad? Know that I'm still with you, Lara. My energy, my love, it's within you. It always will be. Use that energy to pursue your passions in life. Never let others determine your journey. You become who you are through your choices, through the love you give and the promises you keep. I hope you are happy, that you are loved and successful in whatever it is you choose to do. I am proud of you, my darling. Remember me with all my love, your mother.
That's it. So what happened with the rest of the...
What's this? A letter.
2 days later.
Lara, I have received the notarized affidavit confirming Amelia's grave and the discovery of the burial crypt within the manor premises. While I can't fathom why your father would hide your mother's fate from her own family, I cannot deny that any legal claims I may have had on the estate are now null and void. Croft Manor and the remainder of your father's assets are now yours in perpetuity to do with as you wish. If there comes a time when you require assistance in managing the estate, I hope you will consider contacting me to retain my services. Sincerely, your uncle.
After everything he did to try and keep the estate from her, you think she's gonna do that?
I've been so focused on defying my uncle, of fighting to keep his hands off this manor, that I never realized how much this place actually means to me. But since I've been here, I can feel the presence of my mother and father. I sense the entire history of my family and the deep roots we have in this place. I want to honor my parents. I want to honor all of my ancestors. The Croft family may be all but destroyed, but I will make our name and our home great again.
Okay. Guess that's it. I guess the remaining time you can come in and see if the thing I don't know I wanted to try and find all the rest of the pieces. I mean, there were obviously no base camps in here to get a save.
The broken sword I brought back from Yamatai.
Yep, that was from the first game, the reboot. Hey, that looks familiar, right? The Divine Source.
The Atlas, such
Oh,
an
right, the Atlas, that's
amazing
right.
piece of craftsmanship. Sophia insisted I take it home with me.
Guns! The twin pistols.
I can still remember the last time I fired these.
Roth's pistols. So what is there left to find? One more document. Alright, being the OCD person I am about such things, I must find this document. I did look in the safe, right? Yeah. Alright. Good Lord, as big as this place is, there is no telling where that thing is. Right. You pay the utility bill. The hell with that, you gotta fix the hole in the roof. I mean, there's a big hole right there. Oh, it's already been patched. Nice. There was a big hole right there. The rain was just coming in, unabated. Looks like they patched this up too. Unless it just doesn't seem quite as bad because it's not raining. Where, oh, where did my document go? Oh, where can he be? Yeah, the tree is still through the wall. That is true. Very true. I'd be willing to bet it's probably in a locker that we needed the crowbar for. Should have been the little green dinosaur back there. Alright, come on. With all the bright lights in here, it wouldn't surprise me if it was something in here. Although, let's see, where's the light switch? No. Not in here. Rescued. Meet the endurance survivors. Yeah, that's definitely from the first game. This is the entrance to that lab or whatever that we were just in. Bingo.
Lord Croft is resolved to seal the west wing of the manor. I try to talk sense into him, but he will not be swayed. And to make matters worse, I believe his experiences in Tibet have only further fueled the fire of his obsession. He's now up at all hours in his study, researching God knows what. And poor Lara, she is so confused. Too young to understand the tragedy that has befallen this great house. My dearest hope is that Lord Croft will emerge from his grief and embrace fatherhood and the love of his daughter. But I fear he may give in to his obsessive nature, that which Lady Amelia tempered in him so well. In any case, I will be a rock for young Lara. She will never sense tragedy and sorrow in me, only the love and support she deserves.
Winston was my rock. Always had a smile on his face, never letting on that something was wrong. Alright, I guess. Well, I mean, that's it. There's nothing else. Nothing else to be done. I guess I just... quit to the main menu. And then pick the other option under Croft Manor. I mean, we only have 30 minutes left. Roughly. We'll get started with Laura's Nightmare. I don't know how long it's supposed to last. Let's see. Oh, it's not actually... interesting. New expedition, Lara's Nightmare. A bonus challenge set in Croft Manor for combat enthusiasts. Battle through the manor halls, gather weapons and ammo, and survive the nightmare. Oh, do we get to pick cards for this too? Oh, nice. Alright, let's see. Do we want big heads just for Laura, or do we want big heads for everybody? Let's go big heads for everybody. Let's have a little fun with it. Oh, yes, rainbow trails, yes. Wherever you go, friendship is always close behind. Alright, what else we got? Player weakening. There's one specific one I'm looking for here. Weapon. Hunter outfits, explorer outfits. Got a card for my Sacra Umbra. If not, we'll go with a tank top. Could go with the Baba Yaga DLC outfit. Armor outfits. There it is. Where's the one with the chicken? There's a chicken bow. I think it's a chicken bow. Oh, really? We can't do that? Oh, there's a bow that shoots chickens. We can't use it. I am disappointed. Alright, where's my compound? Hey, Tomb Raider, how's it going, man? You just missed the Blood Ties DLC. We literally just finished that like 5 minutes ago. I mean, I'm not trying to make this hard or anything, just trying to have a little fun with it. I'm not really going to care about the score either. Yeah, let's try those. Big head mode, rainbow trail, my Sacra Umbra armor, compound bow 2, and assault rifle 5. I was thinking this was a kind of a story mode, I guess. But I guess not. I have not done this before. I've done the regular score attacks, which this kind of seems some kind of hybrid of that.
Lara, it is unfortunate that you have forced my hand in this matter. But so be it. I will never allow you to make this manor your home again. If you stay, you will perish like your pathetic father.
like my poor, ruined sister.
This is the opposite
I
side
will
of the
grind
coin
the
that we
Croft
just
name
did.
to dust and leave it utterly destroyed, forgotten for all time. It is too late for you now.
Come on, wake up, Lara. None of this is happening.
Look at that head! Oh my god! And the rainbows! Not have an axe? Skull. Wow. Okay.
Come on, wake up, Lara. None of this is happening.
Put me in a different part of the house. Well, it certainly makes headshots easier.
A key. I need a key.
Hell, I don't even have a shotgun.
The master key. A key. I need a key.